Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we have Astral Grove by Aspect. This is the Viznode remix, and it was requested by somebody who at this point, I'm not even going to try to say their name. I feel like it's just a running gag that I'm not going to try, but they will be at Anime Magic soon, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, they asked me to get to this song, so of course I'm going to, and I guess without further ado, and with no attempts to say their username, let's go! I didn't get any details on this one, so I have no clue if it's from something or if it's a standalone release. But as per usual, I'm just going in to listen. The context usually comes as the song does. So far, it's just beautiful atmosphere. Nice melodic chord builds, little bit of tension and some dissonance in there, but it's mostly just beautiful, very ethereal. This is the sound I think of when I think of ethereal. The sound design's kind of making it feel a little bit more abstract right now, too. Oh! Yeah, very abstract. Ooh! Damn, okay. Let the impact take its time, you know? Okay. I was not expecting it to pick up there. Oh, that is messy. It's a lot of moving around. Again, very abstract. It's just, it's kind of just noise in a symphonic arrangement. Those like random pulses catch me off guard every time. God, it's so lethargic. It's just laborious cranking through every single churn of that. And now it's just gonna decay, isn't it? Gonna get a really long tail. Oh. Unless there's something else happening. I did not look how long this song was. So I don't even know. This could go on for another 4 minutes. But it's kind of resolving to something. Ooh. A little bit of a minor tweak in there. It's just looped arpeggio here. See, like, that almost feels cinematic, but it's just sound design. And like I said, I thought it was done at least a minute ago now, but this had so much more to do. See, it's just like controlled chaos. See, like those breaks in there, like, Jesus Christ. Ooh. Like breakbeat's trying to break its way through. What the hell? This chopping is insane. I keep feeling like I've heard it all, and then they do something different. If that isn't the definition of controlled chaos, I don't know what is. Is this the resolution at the end? They kind of did this earlier, similar, so it's like, now I don't know if we're done or if that was just phase 2 of 5. But I do feel like this is a good place where it should end, purely because I don't know how much more creative you can get with that chaos concept. I feel like they did a lot of what you could do. Yeah, okay, good. Good. Knowing when to end instead of just continuing on what is effectively at the end of the day kind of a gimmick. Not that that's a bad thing, making that clear. Calling this a gimmick almost feels like a disservice because even though you could definitely qualify it as one, it feels like they're putting way more effort in than what a gimmick would assume, you know? Like, gimmicks are something where it's like, oh, I think I'll do this today because this is popular or this gets done a lot. None of this is really something I would say is standard, especially the stuff they were throwing in there and these different approaches to, again, that controlled chaos sort of feel in here. That was nuts. I was legitimately impressed multiple times with what they would do and how they would cut things apart and chop it up to make it sound different every single time. Again, though, you can only do that for so long until it starts to feel samey, so I think they hit a very good balance here of being a very significant song. Like, it has an 8-minute runtime, which I did not know at all before starting, but it felt more like 4 minutes, you know? And most of that's just because the song itself is so lethargic. It's very slow, it's very floaty, it just kind of has this churning pulse to it that's just, it sounds like a giant's heartbeat. It's just so large. It's just a scale in your mind that's really hard to grasp because it's taking so long to get through, but that doesn't make it bad. And especially, just like I said, I felt like I was listening to it for half of the runtime, which is a good thing in a song like this. For as slow as it was and as laborious as it was, it felt shorter, which means they were very concise and also efficient with what they were doing and shifting around. Everything sounded cool. There was that chaos factor, and I do love that. I think some of the production, the mixing was a little bit weird at times, just because I feel like there was a lot going on on, and sometimes a little too much where you couldn't quite tell where things were in the mix. A lot of what they were doing, moving it around the head, that was fantastic. You know, like they did a really good job at all of that, and controlling it. Again, controlling that chaos is difficult, and getting it to feel like it has some sort of uniformity in all of that chaos is a feat in and amongst itself. But the mixing, because there's so much of that, is almost always going to be a lost cause, because you have so much to deal with that wires are going to get crossed and things just aren't going to sound as clear as they could in a more precise composition. But that's also fine because of what this was. You know, like I'm not looking for perfect, ideal spots in every single frequency, because it is chaos and you expect a little bit of that chaos to leak into the rest of the production. So what I'm trying to say there is this is chaos, and it might not have been the best production ever, but at the same time, that's almost exactly what it needed to be. Having those few moments, and honestly, it was only a couple of moments, very, very brief in the overall runtime of this, where I was like, ooh, that could have been mixed a little bit differently, or maybe handled a little bit more clearly and just like remove an element or something. But again, that's fine, because the whole feel of this is inviting that chaos and that confusion. So as far as the vibes of the song goes, the goal of the track, I think that was gorgeous. And this whole remix is just really cool. It makes me want to hear the original, because if this is a remix, I feel like the other one just doesn't have as much of that. And I wonder what they added or removed to make this specific version. But even without hearing that other version, I think I almost prefer this one, purely because I think this one would have added to the chaos factor. And I feel like the other one, while pretty, definitely was much more of that atmospheric drawl and just kind of stretching all of that out. So I think this remix added more of that breaking and chaos in there. Like just nothing was quite settling in, and that energy is really cool to me. I don't know if the other version of that song had that in there. It could have, but I feel like this song just added to it, which again, if you're going for chaos, you might as well just go balls to the wall, you know, just go all the way in. And I feel like this definitely did that, but it also feels like this ball of energy that you're just like trying to hold, and it's like spewing little energy spikes all over the place, like holding the sun in your hands. You never know when the next heat burst is going to be. You never know when the next spike is going to happen, and it's terrifying, but every single time one happens, you're like, and you're like holding it back. It's like a god trying to keep the chaos of the universe in line. And that imagery is why I really like this version. And I don't personally believe there is a limit to the chaos that you can put into that context, that energy I was getting from this song. I feel like that's probably the best analogy I've got. Holding the universe in your hands and trying your best to keep it together no matter what happens. That's just insanity, and this song did that very, very well. But I think I've yapped enough on this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to request something else, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always. Or if you want to guarantee something from my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, you can do that. You can go to certain tiers that will have that guaranteed. I don't care what it's from, who it's by, if it's good, bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!